Welcome back, my great communicators. It's important to consider what you would say as well as how you will say it. Body language and tone can speak more than words. I want to address a very common and natural tendency we all have, but all need to challenge and be aware of. It's called natural biases. Natural biases is, again, natural. Children as young as age 3 even do this. A recent study took a group of children and had them wear either a green or an orange shirt. They were asked to pick who they thought would be kinder, more helpful, fun, etc. Inherently, they chose those with the same color shirt. We have these biases whether we like them or not, but we can become aware they exist, be deliberate in our word choices, be conscientious of our body language, and proactive in finding common ground. I want to introduce you to NVC, which stands for Nonviolent Communication. It was developed by Dr. Marshall Rosenberg. NVC is about connecting with ourselves and others from the heart. It's about recognizing our commonalities and differences and finding ways to make life wonderful for all of us. And that's exactly what Bolster Up is all about. I have introduced many of my clients to this powerful style of communication, and I offer it now to you. I have provided the MVC Feelings Inventory as well as the 4-step process in a link down below. I encourage you to sit down and write what you would communicate with someone you're having difficulty with. I use this a lot with my couples. It's helpful to walk through the process yourself first, and then if you'd like to share it with the other person, if they're open to it. If not, just proceed on your own. I love NVC because it takes the sting and finger pointing out of our communication and forces us to observe. Dr. Rosenberg says we can learn to clarify what we are observing, what emotions we are feeling, what values we want to live by, and what we want to ask ourselves and others. We will no longer need to use the language of blame, judgment, or domination. We can experience the deep pleasure of contributing to each other's well-being. The 4-part process is we observe, state how we feel, state our needs, and make a request. When we are focused on the observable, we take out a lot of the issues with trying to be heard. Next is to identify how we feel based on the observation. I have included that feelings list inventory for you because most of us need more vocabulary to identify our feelings. This is crucial, not only to the other person we are wanting to participate with, but also for our own understanding. This often can be difficult. I have included the needs inventory to help you navigate this as well. Lastly, we make a request, not a demand. I have to say this was the hardest part for me when I started using MVC. A request is just that. It is left up to the other person whether or not they choose or can meet my need. This is also the time we can examine how else our needs can be met. On the other hand, a demand says, satisfy my needs or else. Like all communication, it is a skill and can be developed and fine-tuned continually. Just by going through this module, you are well advanced in the skill of communication. And well done, my friend. This was a jam-packed module. You know how to send and receive messages, the multi-layered structure of our communications, and the simultaneous messages you may not realize you're sending, the difficulty we sometimes have connecting with others, and how important it is to follow up and make sure that what you really wanted to say was effectively communicated. The need to measure your communication effectively by continually assessing your communication skill level was also covered, and how you use the skill of listening and how the skill determines what you actually hear. I hope you remember that you can assess your current skill level whenever it comes to listening. You can immediately improve your listening skills by listening with care, that helpful tool that you can have with you in every conversation. And lastly, we covered my favorite, a fabulous tool for communication with heart called NVC. To solidify the learning experience through this program, I want you to answer the questions below. I'll be waiting for you with a happy heart in the next lesson.